What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Bob Arum. Bob Arum has just confirmed that the rematch is in works and it is to be announced. So at least we do have some type of confirmation from Team Fury's side. So that looks good. However, the big news is not the rematch, because Deontay Wilder leaked it out in his own way on his side. I was skeptical because I was like, okay, why isn't Team Fury saying anything to back up this story? But Bob Arum has done that. But Bob Arum has went as far as saying, hey, the rematch will happen. We don't know what will happen in the rematch, but a trilogy is also in the works. And he said, well, can that fight definitely happen? He says, yes, of course, that fight can definitely happen. So these guys are in talks, are in plans to fight a third time next year. And I was thinking that would happen simply because Deontay Wilder would rather deal with some other fight or some other fighter than a particular fighter, which was AJ. But AJ has his own problems now. So we can't worry too much about AJ. So everybody thinks that this is cool. Now, the problem happens, and it's coming in, which explains my other videos, with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn with Dillian Whyte. Okay, Tyson Fury was not and is not a mandated fighter. He wasn't even a ranked fighter. He was a voluntary last year. They fought to a draw. Now, Deontay Wilder, he met his obligations for this mandatory for Dominic Brazil. So now Dillian Whyte is fighting for an eliminator to fight Deontay Wilder. So if there is a trilogy in place, Eddie Hearn states that he will not allow that trilogy because it's his time to uphold his obligations once again. Voluntary, mandatory, voluntary. Then back to mandatory. Okay, so you get a voluntary in between your mandatories. But if he has to uphold his obligations, he should do that with the winner of Dillian Whyte and Oscar Rivas, right? So we looking at that like, okay, Eddie Hearn is threatening to sue if there's a trilogy. Bob Arum is shooting for a trilogy. But this is all based on who wins, people. See, we won't know who wins this fight. If if Tyson Fury outboxes Deontay Wilder, honestly, I don't think Eddie Hearn would have to do anything. Me just counterpunching. Because look, he wouldn't have to do anything, because if Tyson Fury is able to outbox Deontay Wilder for 12 rounds, and you know that's how that's going to go. He's going to outbox Deontay Wilder for 12 rounds. That's if Deontay doesn't hit him with that Scud missile, that Alabama sledgehammer, right? If he doesn't catch him with that Alabama sledgehammer, he's damn near doomed. That's the reason for the going back to the basics, following behind the jab, trying to do traditional things when he should have been doing it the whole time. That's the reason for it. But if Fury is able to do that, Fury will not give him a trilogy fight because it won't be any need, because everybody, and a lot of people think that Tyson Fury won the first fight. So if he goes in there and outboxes him without any problems from the first fight, like what happened in the first fight, Tyson Fury, knowing him, he won't want that trilogy. Why? Why would he want that trilogy? Why would he want to go back to that type of fight? You know, it would kind of be pointless at that point. You outboxed a guy and you've proved that you've done it. You just corrected what you didn't do, or you allowed these type of fights, or this type of fight to go the way you expected it to go. Then he's in shape. Then, he's not all worn and just lost weight and all this, that, and the other. There's no doubt about it. He's at 100%, and he's able to do that to Deontay Wilder. I don't think that he would give Wilder that opportunity again. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that can happen. Now, we do know, since Bob Arum has leaked, or has not leaked, gave us this information, we know who calls the shots over on that side, and that's Bob Arum. It's not necessarily Frank Warren. I think Frank Warren is more like a manager. They say they co-promote. But, I haven't heard what Frank had to say. This was Bob Arum. This is Big Bob. Bob took control of Tyson Fury's career, which was a power move on Top Rank side. And, and like these fights happen, unless it's in the rematch clause that it's a two-way rematch, right? And now we know that the two-way rematch don't matter, because even if it is, who says that Tyson Fury has to fight anyone? You know what I'm saying? This isn't like the situation with Ruiz and Joshua, because the contract stipulated certain things. If the contract on Tyson Fury's look, he's a live wire, okay? They could say, oh, well, this can be one of these situations where if one wins or, but then who's to say that he will get past Wilder if Wilder don't catch him with the right? Because one thing you can't do about Deontay Wilder, you can't count him out in a fight. You can't do it. It would be stupid to do that. If you think that man can't hit you, he had a lot of problems hitting Fury. He hit Fury with that right how many times in that fight? But it only took two separate times he hit him with that punch. And he went down twice, didn't he? So that's the equation. Can Tyson Fury outbox Deontay Wilder and avoid that right hand? That's going to be what people are going to pay to see, right? So I don't know. It's big news. A trilogy, that sounds about right. Milk it all you can. You know what I mean? Even if Tyson Fury wins, the Wilder fans are going to go crazy. So, hey, the trilogy isn't, especially if it's in the contract. But, I think Bob Arum's a little too smart for that, to include another fight when he doesn't know what this stipulation, or what the result is of this fight, But anyway, it sounds interesting, because you got these two guys. I'm glad that a fight has actually been made. Of course, they've been talking, and he said when Deontay Wilder said he's been talking, and Party's been talking, he wasn't just talking about Team AJ. He was talking about Tyson Fury's side too. So I think he was more or less optimistic about that particular option to happen instead of the Anthony Joshua, team. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum's statement about the rematch on top of the trilogy. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.